All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jeff Burnham. I'm the sales manager here at Paper Trails. And today we're going to review features of isolved that you may know that you have and you want to know a little bit more about, or features you may not know you have access to at all. So today we're going to go through a number of things. We're going to talk about HR tracking. You can track all sorts of different stuff, contact certifications, awards, company assets, that type of stuff. We're going to talk a bit about I-9s. We're going to talk a bit about performance evaluations. We're going to talk about expense management. We're going to take a quick look at the customer report writer. We're going to do all that, taking a look right into isolved. And then we're going to talk about some other things, 401k integrations, general ledgers that we can work with you to build that integrate into your QuickBooks. We're going to talk about workers' comp, that wonderful topic, comp as you go, the types of reporting we have, different types of integrations, and some other features that are coming soon. So with that, I'm going to jump into isolved. Okay. So here with an isolved, you've all seen the screen when you come in here, but we're going to take a look specifically today at under employee management. We're going to dive into the human resources components here. So here in my demo company, we're going to go to human resources and then to company assets. We are here within our employee list. And I'm going to take a look at our employee, Hazel Arnold. And we can see that the company has issued Hazel an iPhone and Wi-Fi hotspot, a building key, and she's got a laptop issued by the company as well. So you can go ahead and we can track any type of asset you want for your employees. We can create a drop-down list of any variety of things. We have folks that have us track door codes and those types of things. But once you have an employee that has an item that's being tracked, really easy to go in and edit this. So let's say we have got Hazel's laptop here. Hazel's laptop was returned today. And we'll say, sorry, go ahead and say it was 7/17. And Hazel got a new one. So we can go ahead, we can track any variety of things. The notes live here as well. So it makes it really easy for you to be able to track these company assets and know who's got what. It's really great in situations where if you want to run a report that says, hey, who has a company issued laptop? Who has a company issued cell phone? It's also good when you are in an offboarding situation where you're offboarding an employee and you need to go ahead and collect company assets from that employee. Makes it easy for you from that perspective. We have more and more folks that are taking advantage of this particular feature. So if this is something you're interested in, please reach out to us. We're happy to help. Other things too, employee contacts. If there's one thing that the COVID pandemic taught us is it's really important to track emergency contacts for your employees, your coworkers, your team members, so that you know who to reach out to in the event that there's an illness, an injury, some sort of emergency situation. So we've got plenty of things we can track here as well. You can go ahead and track, employee contacts. We can go ahead and track different types of contacts. We can set priority for call order in terms of who you're going to reach out to first and who you're going to say, okay, we're going to contact my spouse first, then we're going to contact one of my children, or we're going to reach out to my parent, or we're going to reach out to my sibling to in case of one of those emergencies, so that it's tracked and it's there. You can also produce reporting around this as well. So it's a very convenient one-stop shop for you to be able to track all of those pieces. Other things we can track in here as well, employee documents. If you're somebody who's taking advantage of new employee onboarding, you're very familiar with employee documents, the employee document section here, because things like W-4s and I-9s and handbooks and signature pages all flow into here and get filed very, very quickly, very, very easily. But what you can do here is if you're not using new employee onboarding and you have documents that you'd like to upload, it's really easy for you. You go into the specific category that you're looking for, you click on Add New, you search for your file, you can put it under whichever type of category you want, and we can build you subcategories for that. We can build you types of documents that you want to track as well. You can put a custom description in there. And then you can go ahead and grant certain people access to it. You can go ahead and say, yes, I want the employees to see this document, or no, I don't want them to. I want them to only be able to read it if it's a fillable form. Or if you're utilizing supervisor and manager access to isolved, you can go ahead and determine what different things you want them to see as well. It's a really great feature. And again, it's about having that one-stop shop, the one-stop repository for all of that really important employee data that lives right in here. It makes it really, really great. Under training and development within human resources, this is where the certification pieces live. So there's a number of industries that we work with that we track different types of certifications for. We work with manufacturing businesses where folks have specific types of licensure. We work with vertically integrated manufacturers here in Maine that have state issued licenses for a variety of different things. The biggest one that we track for folks is a CPR certification. So you know who has what certification, when it expires, if there's a reimbursement due. And the beautiful thing is, today you've probably got a calendar and you're writing these things down, Jeff's, whatever license expires on whatever date. Or you've got, an Excel spreadsheet for one thing, an Excel spreadsheet for something else. What's nice about this is once you start tracking something in isolved, we can give you reporting and tickler reports around it to say, hey, Hazel's CPR certification is going to expire on July 31st. I'm a belt and suspenders kind of guy. So, I like to know things at 60 days, 45, 30, 15. And we can build you tickler reminders around that so that you can get to those things and see what's necessary or what is expiring and what needs to be renewed. This is highly customizable. So we can go ahead and track, if you're a certified financial planner, we can track that. If you work in the cannabis space and you've got state issued licenses that we need to track for you, no problem. We can do that as well. We can create all the tracking around this. It makes it easy for you, and it gives you a really nice dashboard of information where you can come in here and you can access all of this and you can get to it with ease. I would suggest that you think about the types of things you want us to track or you'd like to track in here, and then reach out to us and see what we can do to help facilitate that for you. Makes it very, very easy for you to have that one-stop shop for all that information. Other things we can track as well, we go ahead and we can track education. If you want to track prior employment, we can track prior employment. If Hazel has any special skills, we can track those as well. Different types of training people have gone to, we can track all of those pieces too. It makes it very, very convenient to be able to come in, produce a report, take a look at everything and have it in one centralized spot for you to be able to access it. Other things that we take a look at a lot for folks too are I-9. So, basic things in here, you can see the basic I-9 information that lives in here. If you're taking advantage of new employee onboarding, all that I-9 data flows right in and is right here. If you ever need to manage an audit, if you want to go in and audit all your I-9s, you have the ability to do that as well. You can get in here and you can see who has an I-9 that needs to be audited and reviewed, and you can go ahead and do that now. I would suggest that if you're going to take advantage of document storage in here and you're going to scan in employee documents, if you're going to scan in payroll documents, that I-9 form is just a logical document to add in there for you as well. Makes it really, really easy, again, to access that information, produce reporting around it, and it can keep you fully compliant. Something else you may not be taking advantage of today are employee reviews. So, we like the review section in here. It makes it really, really easy for you to be able to get in and perform an employee review. We've got a real basic review built here, but we can work with you to, essentially build you a customized review that makes sense for you. We're just going to do a real quick one here right now. We're going to say that the next review is due in 2024. We're going to say this period started on July 1st, 2022. The period ended on June 30th, 2023. We're going to say that this is an annual review. And then we have supervisors and managers assigned to every employee in our demo company. So what we can do is, oops, I'm the wrong employee here. Sorry about that. There we go. Let me just pop that back in there. So we have supervisors and managers loaded in here so that we can go ahead and assign the review to that particular supervisor or manager. And we can create dashboards around the reporting of these things so that supervisors and managers know when they have an employee that has a review that's due. So we'll come through here real basically. How'd your employee do this year? Again, we created a real simple rating system for this one, just for the purposes of this demonstration. Did the employee show up on time every day? They're pretty much on time all the time. Did the employee do what you asked them to do? Yep, they were pretty good at that. Did the employee work well with others? Absolutely. Real team player. We like that. Then we can go ahead and put some questions in here, or comment in here, Riley is the best. So if I go ahead and do that and I click on next, I can go ahead and view this review. We'll give it just a second to pull itself up here. And again, this is a pretty basic review form. We can work with you on creating more categories, more questions, more detail, more kind of fillable information that's specific to your employees, specific to your company needs. So if you come in here, we can see we're doing an annual review for Riley Baldino. It's being done by Hazel Arnold, who's your supervisor or manager. It gives you the period of time in which this covers. Here are all the questions that we answer or we were asked to answer. We completed them based on those 5 questions and the ratings we gave Riley. Riley arrives at as an overall rating of 4.5 out of 5. And says Riley's the best. So we can route these as well for employee signatures, supervisor signatures. It becomes a really easy tool for you to use from that perspective. So kind of bouncing back here into isolved, you can assign reviews to supervisors and managers to take care of. You can go ahead and produce reporting around who's due, who's coming up. And if you want to do 30-day, 60, 90, if you want to do 6-month reviews, we can build all those features for you too. Makes it really easy. It's a nice spot again, and that lives within the employee record. And it's about having that one-stop shop for all those pieces of information living right there for you. So I want to talk a little bit now about expense. There's an expense management component of isolved where you can have employees upload reimbursable expenses through the app, taking a photograph of the receipt, uploading it, documenting the business expense, providing all the supporting information around it, and then they can go ahead and send it in. And we can route that a variety of ways. It can be routed to a supervisor or manager. It can be routed to a single responsible party within your company to go ahead and process. And regardless of where that goes, the individual is going to have a dashboard where they can get in here and they can take a look at any type of pending expenses. So we can see that we've got a pending expense here, a brand new one from Hazel for $82. I didn't have a receipt to upload, so I just uploaded my business card. But we can see here on some other ones, we've got we've got one here for a meal, and we've got that documented. We've got a parking receipt, car wash receipt. So you can go ahead and you can come in and you can approve these, and then it will get routed to the responsible party that processes your payroll, and then it will be added into their payroll. The reimbursement will come through payroll for them. Again, this functions right through the app and lives within the isolved universe. So it makes it a nice, easy spot for you to be able to grab all of this information and track your expenses in a very easy, convenient manner. And I know I'm going fast because we're trying to cover a lot. So let's talk a little bit about reporting. So you may or may not be aware that there's a report writer with an isolved that you have access to. So if I go to reporting, and if I go to report writer, I can come in here and I can do, any type of, variety of things. So let's go ahead, let's create a new report. So we're going to go ahead and create, a payroll check detail report. And we're just going to call this check detail. If I click on save, I can then start coming in here to edit this. And I can add columns. If I want to add some columns, I want to go ahead and I want to add in, any variety of things, employee pay. So I want their annual salary. So if I click on the annual salary, I can add that into my data set and save that. So it's loaded in there with everything else. And then I can come in here and I can go ahead and generate my report. Again, this is super simple, very rudimentary, but there's so much data in here that you have the ability to query that you really can create reports around anything that you want. If there's something specific you want, if there's a report you want to see on every single payroll run, we can do that for you too, so that it's there for you all the time. So here's all my employees as of today. Here's their employee numbers, their names, and their annual salaries. It's all right here. Again, this is super basic, but you've got the ability to come in here and query any variety of things. You can do date-based reports. You can do point-in-time reports. You can go ahead and pull historical data and pull it all into one report. But if you do find that as you're working with the report writer, that there's a specific report that you want to see and have it be part of your report package so that it flows into your report archive for every single payroll that you run, we can go ahead and do that. So it'll live here within the payroll runs, down here in the output items. It'll be right there. And then also when you go to my reports, it'll be part of that as well, if we make it a standard report for you. So the reporting feature is really, really convenient for you. What we find often is people ask us for, certain types of information. And, 9 times out of 10, we don't have to go into the report writer to do it. There's a client report or there's something in my reports that we're able to go in, add a column, delete a column, and we're able to get to that information with ease. It makes it really, really convenient to have all that information, one spot, produce the report, and then you can save it and have it live wherever you need it to live. So I'm going to jump back here to my deck. All right. So moving away from life within isolved, we're going to talk about 401k integrations. Today, we have over 100 integrations with 401k providers. So some people will say, what does that mean? Well, that means in most cases, we can push data and the employee payroll deferrals with that are taken with each payroll to a 401k provider. The big ones, John Hancock, Lincoln Empower, American Funds, Transamerica, we push data back and forth there. With folks like John Hancock and many others, we have a 360 integration. So what that means is whatever we do on our end, we can push to John Hancock. It also means that whatever your employees do or the plan participants do on the John Hancock side, that information gets pushed back to us. So in the case of John Hancock, if one of your employees goes in, changes their 401k contribution level, that information will be transmitted to us. If you have questions about whether or not we have a 180 or a 360 integration, reach out to us. We're happy to answer that. If today you're thinking, geez, I don't even know, I didn't know you could transmit this data for us, talk to us. We do this piece, kind of all the time for our clients. And especially with Maine's retirement mandate coming on the not too distant future, definitely start thinking about kind of the retirement needs of your employees, and thinking about, tools that can make that life a lot easier for you and for them from a reporting standpoint. What's really nice for you is if we're doing this service for you, we do all that year-end census audit reporting for you, makes it much more friendly for you at the end of the year. So you're not thinking about having to do that as well. QuickBooks, a lot of you have us build GL files, your general ledger, that gets produced every time we run a payroll. We have some folks that are pretty basic. Just break down my wages, my taxes, in the fee I pay you, give me 3 separate entries, and I have a plug and play option into QuickBooks. Makes it really easy. We have other folks where we have, multiple page GLs with, 100+ lines where, we're allocating, department costs to, certain areas. So we can do that. We can work with you on that. My suggestion or my comment would be don't overcomplicate your life when you're doing this. It's nice to have a lot of delineation, but sometimes you don't have to go super deep. But we have the ability to go ahead and work with you on this to create a tool for you that gives you all the information you need and makes that payroll journal entry a lot quicker and a lot easier for you after each payroll run. Workers' comp. So we've got a picture here of Roger in his skid steer, because that's where Roger spends his day, working hard. Workers' comp. We are big believers in pay-as-you-go. We love the pay-as-you-go model for any type of workers' comp. We integrate with 15, 20 different workers' comp carriers. Wherever your workers' comp is, if they have a pay-as-you-go option, we're happy to transmit data. Big ones here locally: Mimic, Great Falls, Hanover, SmartPay, Acadia. What that means is you process a payroll, we transmit the payroll data to your workers' comp provider, and they bill you a commensurate workers' comp premium based on the actual payroll. So what that means is you're not estimating wages on a quarterly basis or semi-annual basis for your workers' comp insurer. And in general, you do not run the risk of underpaying or overpaying your workers' comp. At the end of your policy period, when your workers' comp provider wants to send you that nasty audit and it's time to go ahead and reconcile everything, if we've been doing your workers' comp, we will go ahead and work with you and help facilitate that audit. We will upload the necessary documentation that they're asking for. We'll make sure they have everything they need, and we'll ask and answer any questions that your workers' comp insurer has. We have the vast majority of our clients on a pay-as-you-go platform, and it's been a really great tool for them. Chris likes to say it's all about cash flow, and this is a great cash flow tool because this way you're not dealing with big premiums potentially, in your off season or your shoulder season, slower season. You're spreading that premium over, 52, perhaps 26 different payments, installments over the course of a year versus 2 or 4 very large ones that may come at the wrong time of the year for you from a cash flow standpoint. Some stuff that we have coming soon. Next month, we're going to cover onboarding and offboarding, and I touched on that when I was talking about employee documents and I-9. In September, we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about benefits administration. If you've ever thought about having open enrollment facilitated electronically, this is the one you want to come to. We've got a lot of great tools to help support you with that and provide you with some answers on how we can make your life a lot easier when it comes to sharing that data with your benefits broker, your benefits provider. And also, if you're an employer with more than 50 FTEs, this also makes your ACA compliance a whole lot easier. Also, always want to give the plug for my HR stuff. We love my HR stuff. Your employees should love it too. They can get in and view and print their pay stubs, request time off. They can go ahead and submit expenses. We talked about that. If you ever want to see how that expense submission process works, happy to do a demo for you for that. They can also get in and edit their direct deposit, see all their personal information. Great tool. And we have resources to help them at papertrails.com/help. If they have any questions about, I can't log in, or I got a new phone, how do I load it? We answer all those questions for you right there. Makes it really slick, really easy. I do see one question in our Q&A right now. Can employee reviews and certification tracking be used for free? Or is there a cost associated with this feature? In general, the employee reviews piece is included in what you have today, and all your certification tracking is built into your pricing today. No additional cost. There are some features we talked about today that do carry an additional cost, and we're happy to talk to you about those features and the costs that are associated with it if you're interested. But definitely great question there. Well, we will see you next month for our onboarding and offboarding webinar. That's going to be on the 15th at 2 p.m. Please join us. Please be sure to register. Also, check out our website, papertrails.com. Tons of great resources, tons of great information. Our marketing director, John Portanova, he posts a ton of content and a lot of great tools out there for you. So please check it out. Also, check us out on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, we're everywhere you can find us. So please check us out. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we appreciate you taking the time to be with us.